Today on The Daily Charge, peer pressure between Amazon Ring and local law enforcement, D23 and what's coming on Disney+, and grab your four-legged best friend. It's International Dog Day.
Good morning and welcome to CNET's Daily Charge. It's Monday, August 26th. I'm Bridget Carey.
I'm Maya Zakhtar.
I'm Alfred Ng.
And let's start things on the show like we always do with some fresh tech news. Today, Alfred, you have a very interesting story out about the tactics that Amazon uses to get police to join its Ring camera network. It's through lots of nagging, perhaps emails, a little peer pressure, and offers for free cameras to the employees of the police departments. Now, for those who don't know, this is for the Amazon Ring Neighbors program. It's basically this neighborhood watch app that creates a surveillance network through doorbell cameras. There's about 250 police departments signed up now, but Alfred, you got a hold of some emails between Amazon reps and those at the police department showing a little bit how these relationships get set up. Can you kind of go through that?
Yeah, all the cool kids are doing it is something you usually expect on a playground, not in interactions between Ring executives and police departments, but that's essentially exactly what we found through these FOIA requests. In one email, a Ring executive even wrote, not sure if peer pressure is a good thing or a bad thing, just wanted to let you know all these other police departments that were joining the Ring Neighbors network. And in the initial email they had sent in March 2018, they had sent an email basically saying, hey, we noticed that there's more crime in your neighborhood. Would you like to be a part of our network? And
Would you like our cameras? Yeah.
The police department in Chula Vista, which is in California, did not reply for about 10 days. And that rep followed up again and said, hey, just wanted to check in. Also, here's a flyer of all our products and $50 discounts for all the police in your department for these Ring doorbells. That seemed to have gotten the foot in the door. And, a little more than a year later.
So it's like a discount. They weren't just giving them for free right
away?
They
offered like 2 or 3 cameras for free just to see how it's used.
Okay.
And then the $50 discount was just for police departments, like personal use if they wanted to get that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
If people are using Ring cams on their own without buying it or getting it through the police, does the police have access to that video that's recorded on the Ring cam?
So the way it works is they have a portal once they sign up with Ring, and they can request for footage in a specific area. So if I live on a block where police want to know if get footage of a crime happening, they can request for footage like around that area and say, hey, we need footage from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Can you? We're looking into a string of car thefts or something like that. Can you send it over our way? You have complete rights to say no to them, but they also know where these cameras are. Like, they don't have the exact address, but they have a map of where these cameras are. So in some cases we've seen, they'll just show up to a person's door and say, hey, we know you have a Ring camera. We're looking for footage of this timing. Can you give that over? It's very different from when a police asks you online versus them at your doorsteps asking for footage like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, what are the kind of slippery slope issues that we have to deal with? Because on one hand, it's like, okay, so Amazon's a company and they want more people to have cameras, So what are the other sides that we have to think about?
Yeah, I see the pro arguments a lot where they talk about, I welcome more cameras in our community in the sense that, it prevents like porch thefts or anything like that, people stealing your packages. But I think it's important to consider that, having all of these cameras in neighborhoods are something that police have never had before. For a while, police have had security footage from like businesses or in like cities, but not residential neighborhoods like on your doorstep or anything like that. And it's essentially, getting around the normal process of getting surveillance cameras, which the city has to pay for, and now getting citizens to buy these security cameras and then allowing police to basically request for it at any time. And in areas that they've never really had access to security footage before. It's essentially asking people to create their own surveillance networks on the backs of Amazon. So what happens one day if Amazon decides, oh, we don't want to do this anymore, and something that police like looked at as this like massive tool is just no longer available, or if they want to hike up the prices on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, having the corporation blended in with this, community service is a little interesting to watch. That's for sure. Thank you, Alfred. If you guys want to learn more details about this, you got to check up his story. It's up now. Now, Alfred, we're going to do things differently today. You're going to join Brian over in our control room. He's going to take your audience questions toward the end of the show. But right now, we're going to make some room at the table to set up for our next guest, which I believe is the show's very first four-legged guest.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. So as we set that up, Ayaz, have you followed what came out of Disney D23, their conference for the Disney Plus streaming service.
I've seen all of the stuff from Marvel Phase 4 that was added because when San Diego Comic-Con went on, Marvel showed off what they were going to have for Phase 4. And to promote Disney Plus, they talked about the She-Hulk show, Moon Knight, I believe, and also...
there's the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, yes. That trailer hit. What'd you think of that?
Well, for me, like, that looked amazing production quality, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
but
it looks cool. I mean, look, Boba Fett looks cool, and Captain Phasma looked cool, and the other movies looking cool. I don't know if that's enough.
Look at that right there. I mean,
I didn't say it looks bad.
And what's interesting is that they also revealed this is not going to drop all at once. This is something that you're going to get episodes weekly. And I could just foresee everyone, just how they chatted about Game of Thrones all the time. It's going to be coming to work Monday or whatever, and you talk about what happened last week on The Mandalorian.
Yeah, the production quality looks really high, and the idea of not going on this full season dropping at one time, I think is really smart when you're setting up a new streaming service in general, so people aren't canceling, oh, I'm going to get it for the month, and it's all gone. I've already watched it. So people will keep coming back to Disney Plus, even though they have I think it's 4K streaming, UHD. They also have 7 profiles, all of these really cool features for a low price, but keeping people there using the service month to month, that's going to be important, and that's why it's going to be week to week to week.
Joan, our Daily Charge favorite Joan, she was over at D23. So if you want to get more details on that, check out her story up. But we're also going to do things, all right, different for our third one, our third story of the day. Ayaz, do you know today is International Dog Day?
I just found out right now.
Well, there you go. Let's talk some dog tech in honor of today. We have with us professional dog trainer Nicole Ellis. Hello, Nicole. And with you is Maggie.
Hi, thank you for having us. We're really excited.
You know, I don't mind a fluffy story when it's actually fluffy. So this is great. All right, so Nicole is visiting with Maggie. Maggie is a therapy dog, and they're visiting in connection with Rover. That's that app that helps you find dog walkers, dog sitters, and Nicole works with Rover to provide advice as a trainer for the Dog People panel, right?
Accurate.
Yeah, okay. And there is news out with Rover today, right? Can you tell us about it?
Yes, so today is International Dog Day, and what better way to celebrate than spending the day with your dog? So Rover just launched the Dog's Day Out campaign, and what that is, it's curated walks in 20 cities across the United States that you can do with your dog. And they're to pet-friendly places that not only are pet-friendly, but cater to our dogs. So it's a great way to get out, see your city, see some new sights, and spend time with your best friend, from going to art galleries to cafes, restaurants, and they range from 1 to 3 miles, and really a wonderful time just to be able to spend time together. So those are on the rover.com blog.
What I think is neat is that even if you're visiting a city you don't know well, like, this is a good way to, like, just get out and sightsee a little bit.
Absolutely. And I love finding about new places that not only just welcome dogs, but really want them there. And that's everything from doggy menus to giving the dogs water. And what a great city to live in when they have those kind of places.
Yeah, I tried to bring my dog places. I have a Labrador, and she's about 45 pounds, so she's a big dog. So people will be like, you can't bring that thing in here. So
Yes.
It's really nice to see where you're supposed to be able to bring your dogs, because I see people bringing them everywhere where they're not supposed to be. So it's good to have a good... Sorry, this dog's very distracted. Very, very cute, Maggie. It's nice to have a list of places to go that's friendly, not only just where they're allowed, but friendly.
Absolutely.
Maggie, what do you think about it?
Like, oh yeah, we support the businesses that support animals.
Well, Nicole, it's not often we have a professional dog trainer here, so I kind of want to get your experience. Well, first off, tell us what you do for a living. Like, what is a typical, day in the job for what you do?
Absolutely. So I'm a celebrity dog trainer and pet lifestyle expert. So we talk about everything from pet products to dog training. Most of my days is going to clients' homes and figuring out how to help them have their dogs be more a part of their family.
Okay.
So that's from going out to cafes and being calm and be able to spend our day together, to puppy training, to doing fun tricks and getting your dog maybe certified to be a therapy dog, to be able to volunteer together. And I'm a big fan of just integrating pets in our lives. They are part of our family, so what better way to do that than with training?
How much interaction do you have with technology and what you do? Because I imagine there's companies who pitch you on things, but it's all sorts of like new ways I see that tech is kind of weaving its way into dog and owner life.
Yeah, so the pet industry is huge. They say it's bigger than movies, video gaming, and music combined. So of course, tech is making its way in. And from a trainer aspect, we don't see too much of it. There's little bits of it, but a lot of it's just about the canine bond with the handler. And to me, that's really important. But there is a lot of tech stuff that I do love and that I do support using, especially if it's better for our pet's health, wellness, or giving us some insight into them and providing a better quality of life for them. So a few of my favorite things is Maggie has on right now a GPS, good girl, I know. You gotta see that though.
Oh.
GPS activity tracker. And so I have her and I have a younger dog, and different age range, just like us. They have different expectations on how much they should be moving and how active they are. And this lets me see that. It also will let me track her, see where she's been. And if she's, let's say, she's older, if she's not as active one day, it'll notify me. Is she feeling okay? And these are things I might not notice. We're all busy and have busy lives. And I could be like, oh, you're right. She hasn't been moving as much. Let me see what I can do to make sure she's feeling okay.
Do apps actually take into consideration the breed of the dog, the age of the dog, to see if this is a normal behavior pattern? Because my dog's 13, so when she sleeps all day, that's normal. Like, her moving around a lot to like, what's going on? Something has gone wrong. Do they have that kind of data to go against this?
Very much so. So my dogs are the same size, but one is 2 and one is 11.
Okay.
And so automatically the app set it up that they have different goals to reach, and I can adjust them as well. But some of the stuff you won't even see for a few weeks. So like, it takes into account your dog's itching and activity levels, and it tracks it over time. So if there is a drastic change, it can say, hey, something's wrong. Your dog's itching more. Your dog's sleeping more, laying on one side more. And it's amazing they can get that all from this little device called the Whistle.
Oh, this is really cool. I'm sure our chat room has a lot of questions for you. This is the time where we get to see what you have to say. So if you have questions for Nicole, let us know. And if you have questions for Alfred on his story with Ring, also he's still around. So BVG, what are people talking about?
So everybody loves Maggie. Shocking, I know. Thank you again, Nicole, for coming. This is easily the best episode we may have ever done. So
She's like, I'm very excited. You gonna do some tricks?
Want to do some tricks first? We can
Why
do tricks
not?
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do some.
Or if I must. Oh, wait.
Can you sit?
I did it.
Here's a trick.
Here's a cookie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ready? You guys ready? Okay, ready? Okay. Good girl. Ready? Jump. Good jump.
Oh, okay.
I know. SIT. You strike a pose. Oh, come over here so people can see. SIT. Pose. Good job.
Can you talk through like some tips? Like you just
Yeah.
said SIT, so you're like not just saying sit, you know.
Yeah, so I like to keep my dog's brains working, so we have all sorts of different things that I ask him to do. Everything she does is on a hand cue or a verbal cue.
Okay.
So even if it's loud or noisy somewhere, I can ask her to do it, even if she can't hear me. And I'm a big fan of that. I know, back it up. Can you take a bow? Good girl. I'm gonna move over here so people can see. Wait, do a handstand. Yes, very nice. Can you jump up? I know. Can you tell me a secret, Maggie? That's a good secret. We can't tell everybody what you said, though. So close. And she is very excited. She'll bark often when she's, you're going to do another handstand. Okay, that's fine. You can do one more.
I'll take all the handstands, yeah.
And since Maggie does movie production work, sometimes she is a girl dog, obviously named Maggie, but sometimes she has to play a boy dog, so we can put a blue collar on her. Can you show her how boy dogs pee? Hit it. Good girl. And she's not really peeing, that's CGI magic, but she can hold her leg up like she is peeing. I know. Can you come around and we'll just do this one more and then we'll answer some questions.
I love this Hollywood famous
Get up.
dog.
Yes. Good girl.
Is there
Very
anything we
nice.
would have seen Maggie in?
She's done everything from Target to Neiman Marcus, lots of photo shoots, Petco, PetSmart, lots of fun dog stuff from Pet Play Toys, Sleepy Pod, and other fun pet stuff.
That's cool.
Give me a
Yay!
Good job, Miss Meg. Okay. Yes. And everything we train is with positive reinforcement, so you can see she's super excited, and that keeps it fun and exciting for them.
Wow, what a good girl.
I can't even get over this. I don't want to do the rest of the show. I just want to watch dogs. That's all I care about at this point. But a lot of people are dog fans in here. Yan is asking if we're dog people or cat people. I'll go first. I'm a pet people. I've had everything from dogs to cats to reptiles to rodents and almost everything in between. Pretty much anything with 4 legs or less. I'm not a big fan of insects, but that's me. What about you guys? Ayaz, you've got Tori.
Yeah, I've had labs. I have a lab now, and I've had cats before. So like Pets are good with me. How about you?
Oh yeah, well I grew up with a Pomeranian, and I had a roommate with a cat, a little on the allergic side, but I still let her sleep on me, so I put up with it. Yeah.
I have obviously 2 dogs. I also have a horse, very big family member.
Wow.
So pets are my family.
Awesome.
Yeah, same. I've got 2 cats right now, and one of them's kind of a brat. The other one's absolutely precious. So, Yan is also asking if there is an International Cat Day. Yan, are you a cat fan? Do we know if there's an International Cat Day?
There should be. But
Sure there is.
August
Probably.
8th. It just passed.
oh, we missed it.
We just missed it.
We'll celebrate it today.
That's okay.
Well, one of the interesting things that when I was researching with Rover is that now you can get like care for cats too on the app, so it's not just for dogs, right?
Yes, and I
Yeah.
love that because they need attention too, and they are a lot easier than dogs to go out of town, but that doesn't mean they're not social animals. And so having someone come by for even 30 minutes that's a trusted pet sitter to play with your cat, clean that litter box, get them some fresh water, really does make their day a little bit better too.
What other questions we got in the chat room?
Oh, plenty. Let's go ahead and take one from Jay from Jersey. Do you like big dogs or small dogs? And what is your favorite breed? Now, I grew up with multiple German Shepherds, so I'm biased to that, but I literally can't name a dog that I don't like. I don't know about anybody else.
Nervous Chihuahuas, don't like them. I want to be able to wrestle a dog. Maggie's a good size. I like to play fight with my pets.
But if a nervous Chihuahua needed a home, I would still give it one.
The thing about New York and these tiny apartments is that like I don't want to get a big dog. If I don't, we were talking about getting a dog, and I'm thinking about a small one. But
You can get that robot one from Sony.
oh yeah, get Aibo.
You just turn it off.
Have you ever met Aibo?
I have.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
For some people, it's great. I've heard it also works well in like nursing homes and stuff like that. So I think there is a place for it. I like my real dogs, but there's something for everybody. I mean, if you don't want the responsibility, by all means, please don't get a dog and
Right.
get a robot dog. If you don't have the time to commit to your furry family member, maybe a robot's the right choice for you because it is a commitment.
His dog Tori met Aibo.
Yep. Did not really understand what it was at first.
Yeah.
And then eventually started ignoring it because it just didn't interact properly because it just,
It's like, okay, you don't smell like anything.
yeah,
right?
it's like you're plastic, you're a vacuum or something else, but it didn't care.
Yeah, a lot of the electronic toys nowadays, it takes our pets a few minutes to kind of understand. It's not something they see every day. They see cars, they see trucks. They don't see a little toy spinning and spitting out treats.
Right.
So there's definitely a period of adjustment of,
I'm just thinking
This is
when
fun.
my dogs saw a police horse for the first time, they're like, "What is this?" They had not seen a horse in forever, so they were just one was freaking out, one was just like, "I'm going to see this thing."
big dog.
Let's take a question from Michael Brown. He says, what do you think is the best tech to put on your pet? More specifically, what do you think would benefit the pet most? Automated doggy doors, self-feeding bots? I have a self-feeder for my cat just in case I ever get stuck at work longer than I expected, just to make sure that they're taken care of, in case there's a little bit of overlap. But that's kind of the extent I've got for pet tech myself. As I know you've used dog walkers in the past. We've
Yes.
been talking about Rover today. You've got cameras in your house too, just keeping an eye on lovely little Tori. Anything else we can think of?
I think microchipping. I don't know how you feel about that.
Wait,
I think
Alfred's here. He's agreeing with the microchip, but no one can see Alfred because you're hiding behind the
I
microphone.
don't know where I'm supposed to be. Okay, hi everyone.
Hey, Alfred.
Yeah, the microchip is my bet as well.
I definitely think every dog should be microchipped, but it's not really a newer technology
Right.
per se.
The
And
thing is, like when the older standby.
and they need to be found for that microchip to be used. We can't ping it and say, where is my pet?
Right.
Which is a common misconception. People are like, I don't need a GPS collar for my dog that escapes. He's microchipped. Well, unless someone takes your dog to a vet or an animal shelter and gets that chip scanned, that chip's not doing very much for you.
Agreed.
As for the pet products, I think it really depends on your lifestyle. I have a family that a doggy door, electronic doggy door is perfect for them. Like other critters can't come in. It only opens when the dog goes nearby. I probably wouldn't need it in my household. I'm with my dogs a lot. I do have a doggy camera. I have one called the Furbo, and it actually notifies me if my dog is barking. He can take a selfie by sitting in front of it, and I get a selfie alert, which is just kind of fun. And I can also toss treats through it.
Okay,
Which
I've
is
seen this.
fun. So the other day we had our Rover sitter come and take her for a walk, and we call her our auntie. And I just see them so excited, and just makes me so happy seeing that. I do like GPS activity monitoring. So I think it's really depending on your pet's lifestyle and your lifestyle, the best item for you.
It is so neat. The dog probably learns, hey, if I bark enough, I'll get a treat
I know.
because she'll throw me
I
something.
don't reward the barking. But I
That's
know
true, yeah.
if something's there, if someone's at the door, things like that. It's exciting.
My automated feeder has taught my cat how to tell time. She knows now. Like, she can read. She knows that if 7 o'clock, guess what? I'm getting food one way or another. And if it doesn't happen, it's time for me to have a fit.
I've heard that from multiple people.
Here's another good question from Commander Trium. Automated cat litter emptying device, good investment. Do you think so or not? I would stay away from that just because I don't trust robots in my home. But I did in the past once use like a Roomba to try to keep up with the litter and the cat shedding. It didn't go great. Nicole, as far as Maggie, I mean, you've got her pretty much at your side at all times. Have you ever had any concerns about leaving her home alone for an extended period with something like that? Because I know that there's similar things for dogs as well, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if I'm gone for extended period, I'd rather have a real person come in. I have a rover person come take them for a walk or spend some time with them in the house. To me, nothing really compensates that. But we do have the Roomba vacuum cleaning up our dog hair. The cat litter boxes I've heard are great. And I would rely more on a person coming in and feeding almost or having a backup plan. What if the power goes out? What's going to happen with that automatic feeder?
Oh, that's a good point.
So that's where just having a sitter on hand or a friend or neighbor nearby just can come by. Just your cat wouldn't be happy. He knows his schedule. We need to keep his food coming. So I think there's a place for all technology. It's just understanding it. And as you and I were talking about earlier, technology is even used nowadays for pets in ways we don't see it. So there's harnesses that are crash tested by a third party to keep our pets safe in the car. Mm-hmm. Same way you're buckled in, you buckle in your children, we should be buckling in our pets. Mm-hmm. And so there's a company called Sleepy Pod, and they create crash tested harnesses and carriers for our pets. And the amount of animals that get injured or die each year in a car accident is just mind-blowing to me. And the more
I never see people strapping their dogs. You always see, it's so dangerous.
Yeah, and so even like a 30-mile-per-hour collision, a dog this size, it's 1,000 pounds of force going forward. So that's enough to injure other people in the car, your children in the car. And so now Sleepy Pod's created crash test dummy dogs, and you can see all these videos online, but they created sensors inside the dummy dogs so they can see where the pressure points are in an accident to create a harness that really... the kinetic energy can be dissolved into that keeps the pet in the seat. And through GoPros and other technology in these crash test pets, we're able to keep our real pets safe. And that's something we don't think about day to day. It's not like, oh, we see our feeder, we see our Roomba. Mm-hmm. But it's something that, sorry, there's dog hair flying. It's something that really makes a difference in keeping them alive and safe each day. Especially when we take our pets to the vet, we take them places, we put them in the car.
Yeah.
I went with a Kurgo harness for my dog because she had a neck injury and I couldn't use any more neck leads, and I found out about harnesses that way. And they also talked about the for cars how important that is. So that's good to hear. There's lots of different options out there.
I recommend you watch the Center for Pet Safety. It's a third-party company, and they post crash tests of all these companies.
Great.
So highly recommend you watch those.
Excellent. Okay, we have about 4 or 5 minutes left. Let's go through a couple more questions. Storm King has a question directly for Nicole. Training dogs as in a service dog, or is there a difference?
So yes, training for a service dog means that the animal needs to be able to medically do a task that assists you, that you wouldn't be able to do on your own. And there's a lot of confusion on this with emotional support animals and therapy animals. Service dogs are the only one protected by the ADA, the Americans with Disability Act. So an ESA is not protected by them. That means we can't be taking them into restaurants, the shopping centers, and it's getting abused a lot where people are faking it. And I know a lot of people who have service dogs, and they're really affected by this. I did a book on working dogs, and it was the countless story I heard. So your dog needs to be able to do something, whether it's doing deep pressure therapy to calm your anxiety down, bringing you your medicine. I've seen everything from dogs alerting to seizures before they happen, to migraines before they happen, blood sugar changes, and even things such as we photographed a dog that was a peanut detection dog. And the little girl had a life-threatening allergy to peanuts. So the dog would search a playground, the school classroom, to make sure there was no peanut residue. So the dog needs to actually do a task that you couldn't do on your own that helps you get through your life easier.
Ah, that's fascinating.
All right, next question, and then we're gonna segue quickly back over to Alfred's topic. I want a GPS Oh, this is coming from our friend Commander Trium, by the way. I want a GPS transponder injected into my pet, and these are available. But are they going to become smaller anytime soon? What is the future tech of those tracking chips you can put in your
Oh, like
pets?
putting GPS inside,
Yep.
you mean?
Yeah,
Gosh.
there's definitely, it needs to make more progress. The problem really is the battery life of things nowadays and keeping it powered. And science is evolving, but I wouldn't trust it yet. But hopefully in the near future, I think it's something we could all use for our pets.
All right, let's go ahead and talk again about our lead story today, which was about Ring and Amazon and law enforcement.
Hi, Alfred.
Marianne asks, does Alfred know the laws that govern gifts as an official can accept, like $50 credit for a Ring camera? That seems kind of questionable. Alfred.
Yeah, it is questionable because most of the times we call it bribery. In this sense, though, and in most senses of when companies try to court, government officials to use their products, can be millions of dollars, they kind of get around it. Sometimes they'll throw a fundraiser for them or give them a certain amount of products for it. That's why it's a little bit different in this case, where it's not straight up bribery, but, giving $50 discounts to any police officer that wants to use it. I might call it that. Some others might see it that way. The law doesn't exactly see that as bribery.
Great contribution. And then to close things out, comment from Jay says, I don't like the police having access to my private cameras. That'll be our poll to the audience today. Would you or would you not play nicely with this scenario? How would you react if you yourself were getting pressured? We're not talking about regular citizens getting pressured. We're talking about agencies.
Yeah.
But still, if someone came knocking at your door, slipped you a $5 and a camera and said, hey, what do you do? I want to know what your reaction is. Just kind of curious. And then one more from Yan. Shouldn't the police call for a tender for such things? Offering discounts to police officers' personal Ring cameras sounds awfully fishy.
Yeah, it does sound pretty fishy. I mean, they offered it to the entire police department, and it's not like they said use this for your personal home or anything like that, but the discount's just like a blanket kind of thing where police can do anything they really want with that discount. I know over at Gizmodo, reporter Del Cameron had found out that the discount codes that they were giving didn't need to come from a police email. He found out himself that he could use that discount, so it's kind of like they could just give this to anybody if they really wanted to.
That is sketchy as hell.
Yeah, love it. Thanks,
Yeah.
Amazon.
Well, thank you for covering such a tricky story. You've been following this for how many months now?
Probably since May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's a dense topic and a hard one to kind of decode, so I'm sure there will be even more wonderful news coming out of this. But in the meantime, we are out of time. Everybody, this has been a wonderful episode. I don't want to leave. Can you leave Maggie here, Nicole, please? You're welcome to stay too, not to be rude.
She wants her own chair.
Yeah. She can have a permanent seat on this show as far as I'm concerned.
She's a lot to bark about.
But
Thank you
everybody,
so much.
yes, thank you, Nicole. A special thank you to Joan for running the teleprompter today and everybody rallying to the cause. A special thank you to Marta for running the camera, the pupper cam as it's officially been dubbed. And until next time, everybody, we want to say thanks for coming. We'll see you tomorrow. And Bridget, go ahead and take us home.
Yeah, and if you'd like to catch us again, you can find us every weekday morning here on YouTube, Periscope, CNET.com at 11:15 a.m. Eastern. And we also have an audio podcast you can subscribe to. All the details are going to be in the description below, but we want to know what you think. So today was a bit different with our guest. If you want to see more of this, give us a like, let us know, and tell your two friends about us too. It helps. For the Daily Charge, I'm Bridget Carey.
I'm Isaac Tar.
Thanks for joining us.